Hey there, I hope that you're having an amazing Friday. We made it through another week. Definitely a reason to be thankful, to bless God for seeing us through this week and carrying us through. But I wanted to come really quick because, I just started this journey as a women's faith coach. And I answered God when He called me and said, "Hey, I need you to go in XYZ." And I was like, "Okay, bet." So I ended up in this space, right? So I didn't know what it would be. I didn't have everything together. I don't have any coaching background. I don't have any certificates. I don't have any degrees. And I was like, Lord, you want me to go and do this? And I don't have the experience. And so, what the Lord showed me, I'm going to make this a two-part thing, is that it doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter if you're ready and if you got the ducks in a row, if you got the books, whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is your willing heart and you willing to show up, because as we know, we serve a God that He'll tell you to go anyway, and when you get there, everything you need will be there. So that's what I did, and everything I need is here. And he also told me that life experience makes all of us a coach at some point. Whether we decide to pursue that, if he calls you to do that, that's on him and you. But what I wanted to say is I had my first session booked. Y'all, somebody booked me on Tuesday. I was so excited. And I was like, oh my God, I'm nervous. I'm like, Lord, what, I reached out, sent the questionnaire so I could get more information about, how can I assist you in this season? So I got the answers back, when I say got everything, got it together. You can't tell me I wasn't ready. And the client didn't show up to the session, but then that's fine. Life is life and things happen. And I reached out and said, hey, I hope everything's okay. I want to leave you with these takeaways that I was going to share with you anyway. I'm going to equip you anyway. But what I heard the Lord say, because all this week I have been trying to find excuses not to do this thing. I'm like, well, what if this person doesn't like the way that I say this? What if this person isn't receptive to what I'm doing? So, long story short, is I was in there. I washed my hair this morning. I was like, I had to get up an hour, 2 hours earlier than what I normally do. So the first thing that God showed me was that I need to get up and start my day a lot sooner, because I procrastinate. I like to lay in the bed. I don't work until 10:30, so I'm not getting up till almost 9 o'clock, to get my day started. So He showed me I need to get up early, and then He also when it was all said and done, I was like, well, even though this person didn't show up, what the Lord had showed me was that I want to see if you are obedient. And even if it was, whatever, however it came about, I always try to see God in everything, because He sees me through everything. And that's what He showed me. You say you this, you call yourself that, you call yourself a women's faith coach, you call yourself this, you showing up, you doing all this stuff. I want to see if you really about that life, Sierra. So I showed up. I was there, even though the person did not show up. And afterwards, he was like, I just want to see if you were gonna show up, if you were gonna walk the way that you've been talking. And I showed up because before this, I saw a couple of videos that, and the enemy is wild, man. The enemy is so wild. I saw a couple of videos like, XYZ, you doing this, you don't do that, if you can't do this, like, not planting bad seeds. But if I was in that headspace, I would have latched on to that. So we have to be mindful of what we are allowing in our ear gates. We have to be a lot mindful of what we're allowing in our eye gates, and what we're allowing to feed ourselves. Because if I was in a low space today, I would have made an excuse not to show up. So I'm gonna wrap this up and say that when God calls you to do something, there's gonna be so many oppositions. There are gonna be people saying, well, you don't have this and don't do that, and if I was you, I wouldn't do that. Fine and dandy. I'm the type of person, I chew the meat and I spit out the bones, meaning I will keep what I feel like is good for me, and the rest has to go. So what I want to say is that when God calls you, get up and be ready. Just go, because the enemy, just like God wants to test you. The enemy wants to prove you wrong, and well, he wants you to prove him right. That if I would have got up and said, you know what, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna reach out and say I can't go for whatever reason. I would have proved the enemy right because that's what he wanted. But I chose to stick with what God told me to do. So take this with you today. Stick to what God is telling you to do, no matter what nobody is saying. If you booked the coaching session, you booked an appointment. Even if you're a client going to somebody, if you set something up to do it, go ahead and do it because the blessing is gonna be there. And if it's not a blessing, it's definitely gonna be a lesson. So have an amazing day, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.